Hello, this is Newslive on Viewer Television. I am Mbasiti Chesi. Here are the headlines. Another All-Progressive Congress senator backs plan to impeach President Buhari. Terrorists release 5 more Kaduna hostages. Plus, Nancy Pelosi arrives Taiwan despite China warnings. President Muhammadu Buhari commended the collective efforts of nations towards tackling security challenges across the globe and within Nigeria. President Buhari called for more collaboration to check terrorism, banditry, and insurgency. He made the call when he received letters of credence from the Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ambassador James Christophe, and Ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria, Juan Miranda Oritz. President Buhari told the diplomats that successes in taming insecurity had been recorded through collaboration across borders and more could be achieved. Another senator of the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC, Adamu Bulkachua, has backed plans to impeach the party's leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, over the worsening security situation in the country. This comes a few days after a similar APC lawmaker from Adamawa State, Elisha Abo, faulted the president's handling of the nation's security challenges, publicly endorsing the impeachment moves being driven by the opposition People's Democratic Party members in the Senate. Bulkachua, who represents Bauchi North in the National Assembly, notes he and his colleagues had tried in many ways to help the president tackle insecurity in the country but have been unsuccessful. He said the lawmakers also tried to engage service chiefs and other security personnel to find out what their problems are, and when they tell us, we try to find solutions and also advise the president accordingly. PDP senators had on July the 27th staged a walkout after Senate President Ahmed Lawan prevented Senator Philip Aduda from discussing the rising insecurity. Reacting, Bulkachua said the threat by opposition senators to impeach President Muhammadu Buhari is the last and necessary option left for the lawmakers. At least 7,222 Nigerians have been killed and 3,823 abducted as the country witnessed 840 incidents of insecurity between January 1, 840 cases of insecurity between January 1 and July 29, 2022. Also, no fewer than 1,499 people were injured during the virus attacks witnessed in 505 local government areas in the country. A breakdown according to geopolitical zones reveals that the Northeast recorded 777 incidents in which 2,052 individuals were killed and 344 kidnapped. In the Northwest, 519 incidents occurred in the region, leading to the death of 2,229 individuals, while 1,989 were abducted. No fewer than 494 incidents were witnessed in North Central, out of which 1,748 residents lost their lives and 950 were kidnapped. Southwest recorded 420 incidents, which led to the death of 386 individuals and 195 were abducted. 310 incidents occurred in the Northeast region. 420 people were killed, while 157 were kidnapped. In South-South, 278 incidents have so far been recorded. 386 individuals were killed and 195 kidnapped. 5 hostages who were taken on March the 28th aboard an Abuja-Kaduna train have been freed by terrorists. The security agencies and the federal government are yet to confirm the development, but a member of the negotiating team, Tukur Mamu, confirmed that the victims were released on Tuesday, August the 2nd. Mamu, who said that he played a prominent role in the release of the train victims, stated that he has backed out due to the threats to his life, personal integrity, and lack of support from the federal government. So far, 27 victims have regained their freedom with the release of the 5 victims. The number of those still in captivity now remains at 35. It is, however, not clear if any money was paid to the terrorists to release their abducted victims. The Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation has said promotion examinations for junior officers in the civil service will commence on Tuesday, September the 13th, 2022. This was disclosed in a circular signed by the Permanent Secretary Career Management Office in Abuja on Tuesday. The examination was slated to have been held between Tuesday, August the 2nd, and Friday, August the 5th, 2022, across the Federation. An earlier circular also noted the need for the payment of a non-refundable examination fee of 3,000 naira per candidate was approved by the Public Service Examination Board. When Newslive returns, the Academic Staff Union of Universities reveals that none of its university lecturers has been paid since the union embarked on industrial action in February. Details of this and more comes to you right after the break.
Hi, my name is Ikia Matom. Being an anchor has been a tremendous experience, from editing the news to reading the news. As an anchor, you have to be objective and impartial. Sometimes you have to put on a very indifferent look, a stoic character, such that you do not display your emotions. But then the stories that we tell, from politics to the economy to insecurity to education, also affect us. And as journalists, we're also affected by stories. From the teleprompter to the lights to the camera to the action to the reading of the news, it's all a synchronization of various activities at the same time. Sometimes you have to listen to feedback, sometimes you have to stop, sometimes you have to continue. Sometimes, there are technical hitches that we can never overlook, but then you have to come up with a strategy, you have to come up with your professionalism to ensure that the audience do not even know what is happening behind the scenes, and then you just have to carry on.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Newslive. A recap of our top stories. Another All-Progressive Congress senator backs plan to impeach President Buhari. Terrorists release 5 more Kaduna hostages plus. Nancy Pelosi arrives Taiwan despite China warnings. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, on Tuesday said none of its university lecturers has been paid since the union embarked on industrial action in February. Speaking during an interview, ASU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke accused the federal government of using hunger as a tool to force the striking lecturers into returning to their classrooms. Noting that their salaries have been held for the past 6 months, Osodeke said that the current administration cannot use the force of hunger to pull the striking union members. ASU on February the 14th embarked on strike to press home its demands for a better welfare package, revamping of the nation's education sector, among others, a situation that has forced many Nigerian students to be at home. Worried by the lingering industrial dispute, President Muhammadu Buhari had on July the 19th directed the Minister of Education, Adamu, to prefer a solution to the challenge and report back to him in 2 weeks. The presidential ultimatum will elapse today, and ASU remains adamant until its demands are met, not perturbed by the development. The union extended the strike by another 4 weeks, thus dashing the hopes of students to return to school. The Peace Ambassadors Center for Humanitarian Aid and Empowerment has called on Nigerian youth to desist the use of social media to misinform the public, but rather propagate unity and peace. The organization made the call during a 3-day group training on program management and project performance evaluation in Maiduguri. They also urge other civil society groups to play its role in sensitizing the citizens on the negative implications of religious sentiments towards the 2023 elections, as well as initiating projects and programs that will help curtail security challenges and effects.
The civil society is the only group now left with integrity for it to be a voice to the community, especially now that Nigeria, the politics is overheated, the issue of peace and security. So we thought, what do we do? And we say, okay, let's partner with Northeast Connect, and then with the support from USAID, United States government, and then build the capacity of these local actors. Meaning, you don't expect anybody from outside the country to come and then do your work for you.
In social media, we always say content is king. What you put out there can either or destroy. It can either make or destroy the nation. So we place premium importance on the value of the content that goes out. Be careful to curate your content. Be careful to paint the right pictures of things. Be careful not to be used as an agent of misinformation.
As a nascent organization, we normally reach out to community in order to implement projects. And one of the major challenges we have, or gap, is lack of capacity. And then USAID, with the implementing partners like Northeast and then Pache, we're able to know those things that is good for organization in order to reach out to communities.
Plateau State gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, says the party is working tirelessly in unifying people in the state across all ethnic groups to take over power in 2023. Caleb says Plateau has been a home of PDP, and the people are united to return the party to power to provide credible leadership that will enthrone massive development in the state. Our correspondent Nasiru from Jos was at Mungo local government area, where the PDP governorship candidate was welcomed.
Recently, a story surfaced on many media platforms alleging that the All Progressive Congress APC government in Plateau State, led by Simon Lalong, has conceded ownership of the Jos Main Market to Jais Bank. Plateau State Youth Wing of CAN made their position known while addressing newsmen at the CAN Secretariat in Jos. They warned that by giving Jais Bank over 60% control of the market when completed is perceived to be an enslavement.
Information in the public domain suggests that the Plateau State government has been engaging the Jais Bank for the reconstruction of the Jos Main Market. However, the terms and conditions have been kept private and confidential, and no engagement of critical sectors of the society has been made, and this has raised a lot of fears and concerns in the public domain, leading to several apprehensions, which require not only to be addressed, but also to be systematically assuaged, as government exists for the people and not the people for the government. Hence, the concerns of the government and all apprehensions must be given the primacy of place and attention. If the document purported to be
It's a homecoming for the Plateau State PDP governorship candidate, Honorable Caleb Mutfan, as thousands of people across the 17 local government area of the state gathered to receive him in Mangu. The state party chairman, Honorable Chris Hassan, and the PDP zonal vice chairman North Central, Honorable Daka Shan, described the turnout as victory in waiting and urged the people to vote for PDP. Chairman of Mangu Traditional Council, Da John Putman, described the reception accorded to Mutfan and the PDP stakeholders as a sign of good thing to come.
There's nothing like being accepted by your people, and I see that my candidature has brought joy, excitement to the people of Mangu local government particularly, and that I was accompanied by such a mammoth crowd of people across the state to make my first journey home since picking the PDP ticket. We're engaging critical stakeholders across the state to ensure that we get prepared against the commencement of the electioneering programs. We are discussing, we are reconciling party members, we are making sure that we sensitize people, and so that when the campaign starts in earnest, we'll go in as a united party.
It is a few months to the official opening of campaigns by various political parties, and supporters of Caleb Mutfan believe that he has got what it takes to govern Plateau people. Nasru Seidu, Viewer TV News, Jos.
Of Nigeria, Plateau State chapter is calling on Governor Simon Lalong to, as a matter of urgency, suspend the ongoing negotiations to engage Jay's Bank to construct the burnt-down ultra-modern Jos main market at the cost of 10 billion naira. The report.
Recently, a story surfaced on many media platforms alleging that the All Progressive Congress APC government in Plateau State, led by Simon Lalong, has conceded ownership of the Jos main market to Jais Bank. Plateau State Youth Wing of CAN made their position known while addressing newsmen at the CAN Secretariat in Jos. They warned that by giving Jais Bank over 60% control of the market when completed is perceived to be an enslavement.
Information in the public domain suggests that the Plateau State government has been engaging the Jais Bank for the reconstruction of the Jos main market. However, the terms and conditions have been kept private and confidential, and no engagement of critical sectors of the society has been made, and this has raised a lot of fears and concerns in the public domain, leading to several apprehensions, which require not only to be addressed, but also to be systematically assuaged, as government exists for the people and not the people for the government. Hence, the concerns of the government and all apprehensions must be given the primacy of place and attention. If the document purported to be the joint venture agreement supposedly vetted by the Plateau State Ministry of Justice that has recently been in circulation on the social media is anything to go by, to give a clue as to what we are unaware of, but now being revealed, then we are now more than ever before in a position not to trust this government on whatever plans they may present to us as the content of the document in res ipsa liqueto. A careful analysis of the said joint venture agreement will show that there are not only a lot of loopholes capable of being exploited by Jais Bank, there are also clauses revealing that Jais Bank will take 60% of the shops, which it shall sell to recover its money, while Plateau State government will settle with 40%, which will also be shared between Jais Bank and the government to raise its interests. This implies that of the 4,321 shops to be built, Jais Bank will take about 2,593 shops to itself, and then share with the Plateau State government in its 1,728 shops, meaning Jais Bank can access up to 3,457 shops, and this will leave the Plateau State government with only about 864 shops in its own control and power, and this to last for 40 years.
The group also noted that the terms and conditions of the agreement had been unknown until the revelation that made its way on the social media, which has generated most heated criticism and condemnation.
If there is truly any sincerity in the heart of the Plateau State government on this issue of the reconstruction of the terminus market, then with the ripple negative responses from the entire Plateau people, every process so far engaged with Jais Bank should be suspended and allowed for the next administration to consider with much prudence and without being under any passive pressure to conclude what can best be described as deliberate enslavement of the entire economic power of Plateau State in the hands of untrusted and suspicious circumstances, given all the odds and dynamics and unclear circumstances.
The body says that Jais Bank, which has been engaged for the reconstruction of the modern market, is an Islamic bank, and with the happenings around the globe in Nigeria, with particular attention to Plateau State, it is expected that every reasonable citizen will seek some explanation to assuage the fears and speculation that has been triggered by the information on the social media space. Nasru Seidu, VOA TV News, Jos.
Following the suspension of voter registration, the Independent National Electoral Commission, the INEC, has revealed an online website asking the Nigerian populace to enroll for a permanent voter's card. The fake site claimed that the federal government has ratified individual registration online to avoid needless crowds in the NIMC centers. INEC, however, in a statement by the Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disassociates itself from the phony site. According to data published by the Commission, the number of persons who have completed their registration is 12,298,944 as of 7 a.m. on August the 1st. Of this figure, 3,444,378 started their registration online, while 8,854,566 carried out their registration physically. According to INEC, youths aged between 18 and 35 constituted the highest number of completed registrations, with a total of 8,784,677, while by occupation students accounted for the greater number of registrants, with 4,501,595. And now in business news, the federal government has insisted that it had not raised the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, above the regulated cost of 165 naira per litre. It said the hike in the cost of the commodity, currently between 175 naira per litre and 230 naira per litre, depending on the location of purchase, was done by oil marketers. The government, however, could not explain why it was not enforcing the approved price. Oil marketers across the country recently raised the price of petrol above the approved 165 naira per litre rate without any official approval by the government. This was despite the fact that the cost of commodity was still being regulated. The marketers had argued that the 165 naira per litre approved price was not sustainable and was contributory to the scarcity of petrol in many locations nationwide. They eventually hiked the pump price of petrol and had maintained the price increase for several weeks running without any resistance by the government. Speaking on the sidelines of the stakeholders consultation forum on midstream and downstream petroleum regulations organized by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Abuja, The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, insisted the government had not raised the price of PMS. The federal government has announced it has recovered 230,000 barrels of stolen crude oil since April the 1st and arrested 85 suspected and 72 boats. This was disclosed in a statement by the government, citing the success of Operation Dakata de Rao, OPDDD, an initiative between the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Nigerian Navy to curb crude oil theft that has limited Nigerians' earnings capacity from sale of crude oil. Nigeria lost $1 billion of crude oil to thieves in the first quarter of the year and also earned just 39% of its projected oil earnings for the same period due to crude theft. It announced seizures including 23 million liters of diesel, 230,882 barrels of crude oil, 345,000 liters of PMS, and 649,775 liters of DPK. Also, the arrested suspects were 85 in number. Arrested boats were 71. 127 ovens were destroyed. 102 large pits, 148 storage tanks, and 35 pumping machines were recovered. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantemi, has said he is against attempts by the federal government to introduce a 5% excise duty on telecommunication services. According to him, the move will impact the sector and Nigerians negatively. He disclosed this while speaking in Lagos at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Telecommunications Indigenous Content Expo, organized by the Nigeria Office of Developing the Indigenous Telecom Sector, an agency domiciled in the Nigerian Communications Commission. He states that the telecom sector already contributes a lot to the Nigerian economy and urged the government to consider taxing other sectors of the economy that were not contributing to national development. Recently, the federal government announced plans to implement a 5% excise duty tax on telecoms services at a stakeholders forum on the implementation of excise duty on telecommunications services in Nigeria. The Nigerian equity market opened the week on a bearish note, with the all-share index losing 0.83% to close at 49,950.32 points, while market capitalization lost 226.45 billion naira to close at 26.94 trillion naira. An analysis of the market activities show that the total volume of trades today stood at 176.05 million units of shares valued at 2.27 billion naira and exchanged in 4,965 deals. As measured by market breadth, market sentiment was positive, with the 21 advancing issues outnumbering the 14 declining ones. Analyzing by sectors, the banking plus 0.2% and insurance plus 0.1% indices advanced, while the industrial goods minus 4.2% and consumer goods minus 0.1% indices declined. The oil and gas index closed flat. At least 4 people have died during protests over the cost of electricity in a South African township, police officers have said. On Monday, residents angry at the high cost of basic services barricaded roads with burning tires and set ablaze a municipal building in Thembisa Township, northeast of the financial hub, Johannesburg. Authorities said 2 people were killed in alleged police shootings after the protests broke out in the morning. Later in the evening, Thepa said 2 more bodies had been found near the entrance of the burned building, bringing the total death toll to 4. Local municipal police spokeswoman Kelebogile Thepa noted that the police were yet to confirm what caused the deaths of the other 2. However, investigations were underway. Protests over poor services occurred regularly in South Africa, which is battling some of the highest unemployment and crime rates in the world. Power cuts have also become frequent in recent months as national utility company Eskom battles high debts and a labor strike. An official of the United States of America has raised alarm that China is positioning for a possible military show
and perhaps over longer time horizons.
Earlier in May,
These potential steps from China could include military provocations, such as firing missiles in the Taiwan Strait or around Taiwan, operations that break historical norms, such as large-scale air entry into Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, I think you all know that acronym, air or naval activities that cross the median line, and military exercises that could be highly publicized.
Earlier in May, President Joe Biden vowed that U.S. forces will defend Taiwan militarily if China attempted to take control of the self-ruled island by force, warning Beijing was already flirting with danger. The remarks made in Tokyo, where he is meeting with Japan's Prime Minister ahead of a regional summit Tuesday, were Biden's strongest to date on the issue and come amid rising tensions over China's growing economic and military power. The United States will pay the price if House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visits Taiwan during her Asia trip, China warned Tuesday, as tensions between the two superpowers continue to soar. The prospect of Pelosi going to Taipei, which will be the highest profile visit by an elected U.S. official in 25 years, has triggered increasingly bellicose warnings from Beijing that have set the region on edge. Pelosi, 82, has yet to officially confirm whether Taiwan is part of an ongoing Asia tour, but U.S. and Taiwanese media have reported it will happen.
中国主权安全利益承担责任，付出代价。美方应该放弃任何打台湾牌的企图，言行一致、不折不扣地恪守一个中国原则，履行中美3个联合公报。如果美方一意孤行，由此造成的一切严重后果将由美。
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi landed in Taiwan on Tuesday in an unannounced visit that comes despite strong warnings of the repercussions from China. The U.S. Air Force plane she was traveling in left Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur, at 3:42 p.m. local time and took an extended route to reach Taipei that skirted the South China Sea. Shortly ahead of Pelosi's arrival, Beijing's state media reported that Chinese fighter jets had crossed the Taiwan Strait, which separates mainland China and Taiwan. It was not immediately clear where they were headed. Pelosi is the highest-ranking U.S. official to visit Taiwan in 25 years. In a statement, the 82-year-old lawmaker said the U.S. delegation's visit to the self-governed island honors America's unwavering commitment to supporting Taiwan's vibrant democracy. Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed over the weekend in a drone strike in a U.S. counterterrorism operation, President Biden announced Monday night. The president said al-Zawahiri was killed in Kabul. The strike was a result of careful, patient, and persistent work by counterterrorism officials over the course of months and years. Al-Zawahiri was ultimately taken out by a drone at 9:48 p.m. ET Saturday, while he was on the balcony of the safe house and his family members were in different rooms of the house.
To the families who lost fathers and mothers, husbands, wives, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, friends and co-workers, searing September day, it is my hope that this decisive action will bring one more measure of closure. He made videos, including in recent weeks, calling for his followers to attack the United States and our allies. Now, justice has been delivered, and this terrorist leader is no more.
With al-Zawahiri's death, all of the top plotters of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks are now either dead or captured. New Zealand has fully reopened its borders to visitors from around the world after closing them in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said during a speech at the China Business Summit in Auckland that the final staged opening of the borders had been an enormous moment. Visitors who need visas and those on student visas are now allowed to return to New Zealand. International students were a significant contributor to New Zealand's economy, and educational providers are hoping the reopening of the borders will again provide a boost to schools and universities around the country. Most visitors will still need to be fully vaccinated, but there are no quarantine requirements. And now in entertainment news, the BB Niger show host Ebuka Obi Uchendu has reacted to the emergence of Hermes as the new head of house, as he felt his colleagues wouldn't find it easy. Hermes cussed theirs on social media and among his fellow housemates after a video of the moment his colleague Bella told Doyin that they might be in for a hard week. Superstar singer Burna Boy recorded another historic feat last night as he became the first African to sell out the prestigious 20,000 capacity State Farm Arena in Atlanta. The historic feat was recorded at the latest stop of his Love Damini tour, which started in Barbados on July the 17th, 2022, and moved to 7 U.S. states where he recorded historic turnout in Detroit, Minneapolis, Chicago, Houston, Texas, Irving, Texas, Boston, Montreal. The tour culminated on Sunday, the 31st July 2022, and over 20,000 fans filled out the arena to watch Burna Boy thrill them with his usual electrifying and unforgettable performance. The Grammy Award-winning superstar previously sold out the iconic Madison Square Garden in New York in May 2022, and a few months later, he sold out the 21,000 capacity State Farm Arena with a breathtaking performance taken to their verified Twitter page. State Farm Arena confirmed that the African giant indeed filled out the capacity to the brim, they posted. Female DJs are increasingly the stars of concerts and private parties across Saudi Arabia,
Al-Bishi,
an
who performed
unthinkable phenomenon just a few years ago in the traditionally ultra-conservative kingdom. This next story is about the new trail women are blazing in their very unlikely situation. The report.
Who performs under the name Bird Person, started experimenting on DJ decks during the pandemic. Her big break came last year when she was invited to perform at MDL Beast Soundstorm, a festival in the capital Riyadh that drew more than 700,000 revelers for performances, including a set by superstar French DJ David Guetta.
My music is not for females or for males, it's for music lovers. It's music for the soul, so it really doesn't matter the gender. So I don't see any difference, to be honest.
The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia's de facto ruler, introduced new rules encouraging new opportunities for women and expanding entertainment.
Most of them were like playing instruments or stuff, but it was just a hobby to express themselves at their bedrooms. But now, as we have platforms and, you know, they could even have career, so it's really amazing.
But human rights groups criticized the recent reform as a distraction from abuses, including against intellectuals and women rights activists. Alex Hanifa, Viewer Television.
The Capital One City Parks Foundation is an independent nonprofit organization in New York, USA, is hosting its annual outdoor music festival tagged Summer Stage this summer from June until October. They will showcase an Afrobeat event in Bronx, New York, and August the 13th, 2022. The event is one of the hottest and beloved in New York City, broadly accessible, free outdoor performing arts festival, presenting free live performances spanning all genres. The lineup of artists to headline the August 13th show includes Ghanaian reggae dancehall artist Shatta Wale, Afro-pop singer, songwriter Wiyala, hotspot DJ Freshie K, and a host of African and international music stars. Over the years, Summer Stage has assembled some of the world's leading music icons who exude diverse music styles and cultural offerings, ranging from jazz, hip-hop, Latin, global, indie, and contemporary dance to engage fans from all over the city and the world. And the 2022 season will continue that legacy. And that's all on Newslive. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. Another all-progressive Congress senator backs plan to impeach President Buhari. Terrorists release 5 more Kaduna hostages plus. Nancy Pelosi arrives Taiwan despite China warnings. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ambassador Jessie. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.